Prabhupada was very accepting for many mistakes that we made as devotees, as young devotees, inexperienced devotees. He tolerated so much. As long as someone was trying to be sincere, he accepted them as his disciple with warmth and love. And even if they made many mistakes, he accepted them and just said, try your best. And he tried to correct them in different ways. The only time Prabhupada was adamant about someone not being his disciple, he actually rejected a few times people for to not be his disciple, was when they made the exact same statements as this person is making. That, and I'll repeat that statement that we are talking about, that we're discussing here, is that he said that that ISKCON should only follow the Vedic literature and not Srila Prabhupada, not Srila Prabhupada. When there were devotees in 1970, 71, I believe it was, 1970 in New Vrindavan, and many older devotees will remember this. I was there. Some of the elder new sannyasis, it was a new thing, sannyas, and they started preaching that Prabhupada was God, and they got some influence from I don't know exactly where, but Prabhupada said from India. They got some influence like this, and they were preaching this Mayavad kind of concept that Prabhupada is God, and that they're supposed to just understand that. And they were in the temple room speaking very boldly and very loudly, and a few devotees were objecting. They raised their hand. They said, but Prabhupada said he's never God. That's the difference between him and other gurus. And they sit down, be quiet. They were intimidating devotees. People were crying. It was very horrific. And so they thought they knew better than Prabhupada. Prabhupada never said these things, but they were saying things he never said. Anyway, some other older devotees that were very understanding, they took all the devotees in a room outside there, and they said, sit down, just chant japa right now. Let's stay together. It's very disturbing what's happened. We are going to contact Prabhupada immediately, and we will ask him what we should do. This is an emergency, big emergency. So we all sat there for an hour or two out chanting, and people were crying, and it was a hard time. And then we got the letter, and Bhagavan, Rupanuga, and a few other older devotees, they read this letter to everyone. And Prabhupada said that these 4 sannyasis that are preaching like this, they are not following me. They are not doing the right thing. So therefore, I will reject them, and I will send them away. If they want to remain my disciple, he gave them a chance, because he's very kind. If they want to remain my disciple, they must leave New Vrindavan immediately, never speak to any devotees, never go to any temples that are already established. They must go to places where there are no temples, no devotees, and they can preach what I'm telling them in my books. And if they preach that, and he corrected them in so many different philosophical points, he said, then they can make new devotees, but they cannot stay in that place for more than 1 month, because he didn't want them to be contaminated, that now I own this temple, or I'm going to be a big person here. So they had to keep moving. So he gave them these recommendations, and they did it. And that's how temples like Gainesville, Santa Fe, and Texas got established, because these disciples, they had to go by themselves, he said, with no manpower, no other man they could take with them, no other brahmacharis, and they had to correct themselves, and in correcting themselves, preach my philosophy, my Krishna consciousness, what I gave you. So there were other examples. I won't go into each detail, but there are other examples when people said, oh, Prabhupada, I know more than you. You're saying this, but actually in the Vedic literature it says this. One of them thought he was a great Sanskrit scholar. Prabhupada says, you are a snake. Leave my association. I don't know what happened to him, but I won't mention names. So there were a few incidences like this. So when someone thinks they know better than what Srila Prabhupada has given us, and know better than the whole parampara system, to disregard the whole parampara system by saying this one statement, that ISKCON doesn't have to follow Prabhupada, they follow Vedic literature. So this is called the Smarta Brahmin philosophy. And actually the words, I'll just end with this. The word smarta is Sanskrit word. And it actually, if you translate it into loose English, it means thinking that you're very smart. Thinking that you're smarter than the acharyas and the founder acharya and the whole parampara. So this is a disgrace that this has entered into our, that we have to even discuss this in our own society of Prabhupada's ISKCON. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.